Hey y'all, I've got this concept in my head that I've been thinking on the last few days. Can you take a punch? Now I don't just mean to your face or your kidney or your stomach or wherever, right? Although that's something. I think it's really good for people to get the crap kicked out of them a couple of times or more. And I'm not advocating you beat women or children, so just get that out of your head. But especially as a man, I think it's good to know where the edges of your envelope are. What are you comfortable and uncomfortable with, and then push those. And then get really good at defending yourself so that nobody ever beats the crap out of you again. But that's not precisely what I'm talking about here. What I mean by can you take a punch is what is your recovery capacity? This is really important for preppers, for SHTF, man. What is your capacity to recover from a punch? We all have, or Lord willing, we all have. We have our food, we have our guns, we have our ammo, our water filters, water storage, all of that. But what if something happens? This is, for example, one of the reasons I am not at all a fan of the slick plate carrier. Hard plates, 3 mags, and an IFAC. Because you may have to empty 3 mags in 3 minutes. You may. I pray that you never have to do that, but you may have to do that. I don't know if you've studied much history, but most engagements last longer than 3 minutes. Now, if you're a ninja door kicker and you do your work at 3 a.m., mostly engaging an unsuspecting enemy, 3 mags might work for you. But especially you suburban people, population density, while in the micro, on the small picture, can be a blessing. In the macro, big picture is a problem. If you have to shoot your way out of a major metropolis, and again, I'm praying that you don't, and I don't recommend that you do. I recommend you leave now without a shot fired. But 3 mags isn't going to get it done. In fact, I've been listening a lot to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History lately, and I've been following his series on World War I, The Blueprint for Armageddon, and I am on, I believe, installment 4 of 6. They're about 4 hours long each. They're significant podcasts, but very well done. But he was just discussing a class of ships that both the British and the Germans had. Yes, the Germans had a navy in World War I, other than German U-boats. They had a conventional navy. And it was the light, or what was it called? The battle cruiser. It was a combination of a battleship. What they tried to do was get the firepower of a battleship and the speed of a cruiser. And to do that, they had to sacrifice armor. And until this conflict in 1916, these ships had never been tried on either side. Well, almost immediately, these ships are exploding because rounds are landing on the ship, going through the light armor and into the magazine where all of the explosives on the ship are, and they're just literally exploding. I think it's 3 ships that the British lose almost immediately. And they were big, expensive ships, like 20,000 ton class ships. Gone. Within 2 minutes, the first one was out of the fight. Can you take a punch? It's why I don't like the minimalist plate carrier. The argument is often made, and I make it myself in certain occasions, it's the firepower versus mobility equation, that lightweight allows you to have more speed. And that's great. Until somebody hits you. Then what do you do? And I'm not advocating for or against here, but I am saying that these are things you should consider. Can you take a punch? What about your tribe? Could you afford to lose a third of the people in your tribe? And by tribe, I mean the people that are contributing to your well-being now and after the balloon goes up. Forget the emotional side of I don't want to, because lots of things are going to happen when the world goes to hell in a handbasket that I don't want to happen. But it's just pure emotional weakness if we don't consider these things that we don't want to happen now, war game those things, and then develop a plan or plans to deal with them. So what happens if a third of your tribe goes away or half of your tribe goes away? Like that. Can you take that punch? What about your food storage? Can you absorb 50% more people than you're expecting to come to your property, your bug out retreat, your whatever, right? Your doomsday bunker in a, Nike class missile silo underneath the fields of Kansas. Can you absorb more people into your group than you were planning on? Can you take that punch? What about your equipment, your materiel, your consumables outside of food? Batteries, ammunition, firearms, fire starting, fuel. I think I said fuel, but fuel, sanitation. Can you take a punch? Now this is, in the hierarchy of preparedness, probably third or fourth down on considerations. This is not a primary consideration, because in order to think about this, you yourself need to already be in a good position. But the next order is to understand that having everybody else around you in a good position keeps you in a good position. The next thing beyond that is understanding that things are going to happen that may knock us out of a good position into a bad position. How do we mitigate that? How do we deal with that risk? By being able to take a punch, having headroom built into your calculations, having redundancy in your systems, having more than you need, and not in a snotty materialistic way, but in a capabilities way. Can you take a punch? I would advocate that every one of us needs to be able to take a punch. Literally speaking and figuratively speaking. It's good to know what you can tolerate. And it's good to know what you can't tolerate. How much is too much? There's a reason these shirts, yeah, that's right, these shirts are navy blue and gold. Because any of you that know anything about buds know what the navy blue and the gold shirt looks like. How much can you take? Are you going to DOR? Are you going to ring that bell 3 times when life gets hard after the balloon goes up? Or can you take a punch? There's some food for your brain. Shalom.